So today we're doing a deep dive into extraction logic, and let's just go ahead and get started. And Dan Fleetwood, our president of communities and research, is going to be kind of diving in today. Take it away, Dan.
All right, thanks, Crystal. You went to Johannesburg. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're going for a conference. We can talk about that later.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so thanks everybody for joining in this deep dive about extraction logic. I head up the research and insights platform here at QuestionPro. I've been here for about 6 years, so definitely seen a lot of growth and know a lot about the product. So happy to be a resource on this call and even after the call as well. So I head up the research platform, and just so everybody knows, this I guess really includes the survey platform, more the research edition focused, where includes custom point logic, point and click logic, advanced question types like conjoint, the discrete choice conjoint, max diff, heat map, hotspot, card sorting, all of those more advanced question types that are included in the survey platform. And then also in the research platform is the communities, so where you can maintain or manage a community of your brand's top promoters, or even a group of like-minded folks that you want to do research with. Really the key here is the speed at which you can connect and send out a survey and get those responses. In addition to the audience, where if you don't have people to take your survey, we can find them for you. And we have a slew of data points that we can pull from and really find the correct people for your survey. And then, of course, if you need us to program surveys or do reporting, those are available via our services and partnerships as well. So these four entities really make up the QuestionPro research platform. But let's dive into extraction logic. So some of the things we want to talk about today are how it works, the question types that are supported with extraction logic, use cases, and then also some benefits of it. And then if there's enough time, I'll dive in and give you a live look into the platform, show you how you can set it up and so forth. So, and as Crystal mentioned, make sure if you have any questions, put it into the Q&A section, and then we will get to those and upvote the questions. Even if you have the same one that someone else answered, make sure you just upvote it. Easier for us to know, like, hey, these are questions that need to get answered during our time here. All right, so extraction logic. What is it? Basically, it gives you the ability to display answer options selected by the respondents in following questions. And then the extractor question type will be automatically saved and added to the survey. So rather than having to set both questions, add a bunch of show hide logic or custom logic, the system will do it for you based on a number of different criteria that we'll get into. And essentially, if a respondent selects different question types or different answer options, those can get automatically extracted into any of the following question types, from single select, multi-select, drop down, single row, multiple row, numeric input, and email address, and then ordering. So you can have it to where you can then rank order answers that were previously selected, drag and drop, constant sum, rating. The ones I like are kind of the matrix questions, where you can have people select their, like, maybe their favorite foods, and then based on those favorite foods, you can then have a multiple select on, you know, most important, least important, or how satisfied were you with an option. You can do all of those three and have it flow directly into a matrix question. And then slider questions. So, you know, whether that's a numeric or text slider. So multiple questions supported here, and really to meet all of your needs in terms of what you would want to extract those questions into. So I'll give you an example here. So you can see, you know, which credit cards do you use? Is it Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover, or others? This particular respondent selected Visa and MasterCard. So then based on this, you can choose to extract those answer options that were selected into a follow-up question. Now you can also see that you can do options that with them not selected. So let's say any of those options that weren't selected by the respondent in that question, you can choose to display those answer options. Or if you want, hey, just all the display choices, maybe you're randomly showing a list to the respondents, and you want to show, and then the follow-up question, you want to show those that weren't displayed or those that were displayed. there's a couple of different choices there. You select the question type, and then those will be automatically added to the platform. So in this case, going back a few questions, the respondent selected Visa and then MasterCard. And then this is, how satisfied are you with these cards? So you have the ability to easily ask the follow-up question without having to put in a bunch of show hide logic and customization there. So it automatically extracted this, made the question, and so forth. And you can see here, this is a matrix from very dissatisfied to satisfied. So making it easy on you. Some points to keep in mind here is the source and destination questions do not need to be consecutive. So if you want to extract the answers that were selected into a question later in the survey, you can do that easily. It doesn't have to be the next question. You can reorder the extracted question. However, you need to set branching logic to maintain the flow of the survey. So you still have to make sure that you're branching correctly. Otherwise, you could run into flow problems there in your survey. Another fun thing is we talked a little bit about it. You can also do reverse extraction where it works in the same way as extraction, but except that the options not selected by the respondent are the ones that are going to be extracted into the follow-up question. And this doesn't impact data analysis at all. The data analysis would be the same whether or not you set up this question, put in your own show and hide logic and so forth. The extraction just makes it a lot easier for you to do and set up. Some use cases for it that we see are customer feedback surveys. So the ability to present answer options to customers based on products they've purchased. And so obviously this is an example, which of the following products have you purchased? And they select 3 or 4 options there. Those can get extracted into the follow-up question. So you can easily target the people that have purchased those items and have the survey flow as such. Retail store experience, so ask respondents to select the store they visited, and then out of all the stores, maybe in a city, so you can narrow in and ask those follow-up questions to those people that selected the stores that they visited. We see it a lot in course evaluation surveys as well, where you can request students to rate the courses that they took. So again, which of the following courses have you taken? And then they can, based on that, you can ask the follow-up extraction logic. So if you did, if you're not familiar with it, typically it's based obviously on a multiple select question type. And then some of the benefits of it, it definitely reduces effort and programming time. It saves time so that you don't have to add questions and options manually. It doesn't require you to add logic or code the survey multiple times. It makes it easy. It improves the respondent experience. So respondents see options that are relevant to them and they feel more engaged. So it makes it easier there. And then can reduce the time to complete the survey. So respondents don't have to filter options that matter to them from a list of, of a lot of them. So really helps it make it more focused there. And then also takes less time to complete the survey because they're not having to filter through all those options. And then because you get a better experience, we see fewer dropout rates and more relevant engagement drives them to complete the survey. So the higher completion rate because of this as well. Personally, I think the reduced effort and improved respondent experience are 2 of the key methods of using the extraction logic, because you don't have to create the logic and the question. It just saves and reduces a lot of time and when you are creating the question. So I think now, is there any questions so far? If not, I'll jump into I'll give you a live demo of where to set this up. Have there been any questions, Crystal, or is it?
Nope, we're all quiet on this end.
Okay.
I think
all right,
people really want to get their hands dirty and see how it works.
All right, fair enough. So here inside of the survey platform, I have just created this extraction webinar survey just to give you some examples of things that you can do with extraction logic. So here I have a multi-select question type, and then based on this, you would just go to logic here, and then you can select extraction logic, and then you choose what you want to extract. Is it the selected choices, the not selected choices, the displayed choices, not displayed choices, or all choices, if you, depending on your particular use case. And then you select the question type. Again, from that list that I had mentioned earlier, from single select to drop down, single row text, so you select this. And then once you do that, you hit save extraction logic, and then it will set up this question, and then you can input the question here, or input the question text here, and the answer options will automatically flow through. And then another example here is, which of the following pets have you owned? This, I have it flowing into, I have it extracting and obviously into a question based on the pets that they own. What are your favorite pets? And then I have it extracting again into of your favorite pets, then rank them. So you can do extraction on extraction or double extraction. So that is something that is pretty unique and fun to do as well, and can really help save programming time inside of your surveys. So how does this look functionally? So if I go here, I'll take the survey link, I'll plug it in. And then here, if I, which of the following sports do you like? I select football, basketball, and soccer. I go to next. Please rank the following sports. So if it's football, basketball, soccer. Next question. What's the following pets have I owned? So I've had a dog, a cat, never had a horse, and I'll say a bird. So then I can go next, and then what pets are my favorite? So a dog and a cat are my favorite. And then based on this, I'm going to say that, I like out of these two, a dog is my favorite over cats, and then I can go done. So that's a way that you can use, sort of extraction on extraction. So really easy to set up. If you just add a question here, we'll go to select mini, and I'll just show you how to do this on the fly so you can see really how easy it is to use. So, which of the following types of food do you like to eat weekly? And then you can say, whatever it is, pizza, sushi, maybe it's a hamburger, or what's another thing? Maybe it's a taco or something, right? So you can have these things,
taco.
and then and then you can go to logic, like I mentioned, and then select extraction. And then here you can base it off of, again, those options. So if I go selected choices, and maybe this, I want to have it flow into this star rating question, and then save extraction logic. So here, once I hit save extraction logic, it automatically creates this extraction question. So you can say, whatever you want the question text to be, please rate the following, whatever you would want it to be. And then here, now it'll show up there and they can, rate these things. If you want, there's additional settings you can set up here on this particular question, but this will automatically flow through. So if I will take this link again, and I'll just show you how that option looks. So football, basketball again, it'll extract those. So football and baseball. All right, next question. I've owned a lot of these pets, so let's select all those. And then these ones are my favorite, right? We saw this earlier. And then, so I'm gonna rank these to get to the next question, just to show you how that star rating question looks. And then I'm gonna go to the next question here. I'm gonna select pizza and sushi and a hamburger. And then next, and then you can see the star rating here. So you have, these different question types. So any number of question types you can do, and it makes it easy to set up. And then, of course, the reporting is going to be the same. So this would be treated just like you would use to analyze a star ranking or question. You would do that similar to rank order. All of that would show up the same. There's no difference there. It just, we make it easier for you in setting up that extraction logic.
Great. So we have a couple of questions now that you've really dug in. How is data captured for drag and drop if we are using extraction?
So the data captured for drag and drop would be the same. So it would show just those particular options, and then um, and then it would rank it all, obviously in aggregate. Once you get all the responses, then it would flow, that would all flow in. So that's typically how how it's done there. So it's the same as you would normally view the drag and drop answers.
Nice. Okay. What is the difference between all choices and displayed choices?
Yeah, so all choices is all of the different choices in a question. You can have there's a setting to where you can choose to randomly display 5 of these choices. So if display choices was selected as the option that you want, then it would only display those choices. If it's all choices, then it would be all the answer options in the question, no matter no matter the amount that you chose to display to the respondent at one time.
Okay. If you had an other option and somebody typed in, let's say, French fries, would that appear in the extraction logic?
You can. Yep. So we can do other options and then have that appear as well. And
Awesome.
it would flow into the extraction logic. Yep. Or the extraction question type.
I love that. So their answer would flow in.
Yep. Correct. Yep.
Great. Okay. What does the data look like in a CSV file?
The data would look like, so you would see the answers that they selected just like you would in a normal multi-select file. And then you would see which ones they selected and then which ones for the follow-up questions. So, and then the ranking for each of the stars. So the data would look similar to, or pretty much the same actually, as other data files without using extraction logic. So really the key here is just improved, survey response or survey creation time. So reducing the amount of time it takes for you to create the survey and just making it easier on that end.
Awesome. That's all. Those were the questions that were sitting in there right now.
Okay.
So,
all right.
You can keep going if you had more.
Yeah, that was actually everything that I wanted to show. If there's other things that people want to see, I'm happy to show it. But really, that is extraction logic and a deep dive. I would encourage everybody to go and at least try it out, even if you don't have a survey right now to program. Kind of create one and get used to it, and then feel free to ask us questions as you go along. But those are really the different things that you can do with extraction logic. If you want, I can show you, one that is not selected, but essentially it's the same as, something that is selected. So if let's delete this question here. And then if I go back into logic, and then I go back into extraction, and then here if I go, I want all the ones, the reverse extraction, so ones that were not selected, and I want to extract those into a single select. It could be maybe something like which of the following would be food. I don't know, you eat something like that. And then, so I'm not sure of the question, but so then based on that, the answers that weren't selected would then flow through. So let's see here. Take this. And then, so if it's pizza and sushi, so hamburger and taco would flow through. And then, so maybe if I couldn't have those, I'd have a hamburger. And then, so that was how essentially the not selected options would work.
I gotcha. How do you terminate the survey with extraction logic? You just end it?
How do you terminate the survey? Yeah, so you can just end it, or you can add logic on to the extraction question too. So if let's say they selected pizza or something for this question, you can terminate the survey at that point. If you didn't want someone that didn't initially select pizza, but they selected it as their second favorite food or something, you can have logic on the extracted question types.
I got you. Can you use extraction questions with like an MPS question or things like that, other advanced question types?
Typically I see it on multi-select. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I ever really tried it on a like MPS question type, but I mean, you could ask a follow-up question here. So if I have this MPS question type, no, I can't use extraction logic, but I mean, what you could do is base this, take the answer that they selected and then, ask a follow-up question of why, but you can't really extract this into it because there's not multiple options to extract on the MPS question type.
I got you. That actually leads into our next question. Ooh, look at this. Can you have two extraction logics on one question? So example, if they picked football and baseball, that would lead to one question, and then the other question would lead to their not picked topics.
Yeah, you can do that. So you could have it to where based on the options I selected, and then you could route to those, and then based on the ones that they didn't select, you could ask questions about those. So you can do all those things based on setting up the different skip patterns here, and then the extraction questions.
Cool, I got you. If we're not selected. Yes. Okay. So that question actually got asked twice. So that's perfect.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Can you show a can you download the CSV file and show that from the, do we have time for that? Or do you have?
Yeah, there wouldn't be much data, but what I can do is I can send, we get the name of that person and then I can send it. I'll send them an example.
Okay. Julie, we'll send you an example. I got you. Okay, I think that's all.
Yeah, I think that kind of wraps up extraction logic. I would encourage everybody to go and use it, and then feel free to ask us questions once you get started and once you use it, maybe how to do something. More than happy to take additional questions at that time, or even jump on a call and have someone show you exactly what to do based on your particular use case. But the extraction logic functionality that we have is much expanded. So maybe even if you tried to use it a year ago, we've added a lot of options to it that make it even more user-friendly, more features and functionality. So I would encourage everybody to go and try that again.
Yeah, and I think that it's available in our advanced license currently, along with our research editions, right?
Yep, correct.
Awesome. I was like, ooh, question. Just checking, Okay, so thank you guys for all attending our webinar on extraction logic. We know this was a little shorter than normal, but that's because having a much more clear idea of what we're talking about gives us we're really able to dive in and engage with you guys. We'll be sending out the presentation and the recording to all registered attendees, along with some of the Q&A questions, and so you can have those answers in your inbox in the next couple of days, and we'll be following up with you directly on questions that we weren't able to get to today. Thank you so much for attending, guys. We really appreciate it, and we hope you have an awesome Monday. Perfect. Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody.